Shalom, Yashar Allah. First and foremost, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachach Hadash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all of you hopeful elect Akim out there that are laboring, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I'm doing this lesson, based on this picture, because as we are coming to the close of the year 2025, going into the year 2026, even though the new year, just a side note, not to go off too much, but the new year comes in the month of Aviv, which is springtime, March, April. It doesn't come in March. It wouldn't come in the time of the middle of the winter when everything is dead, as this man's so-called New Year's resolutions come into play, and it's a satanic time for him to celebrate his New Year's in, the dead of winter, and that's where you get the Roman god Janus, which is a two-faced Roman god, one face in the front and one face in the back, and that's why a lot of people celebrate this time, because during the Roman customs, that was the month of January was the time that the end of the year and the beginning of the next was, celebrated, So beyond the point. But as we are going into the year 2026, as the Apostle Tahar labeled the year, the apostate, false teacher, false prophet, and also it's going to be happening so that those men can be exposed, and through the Spirit, I'm just going to zoom in on this picture. And I'm going to look at some key points because, just through the Spirit, let's just see what sticks out. Why is this birthday cake have a 250 on it? Because in 2026, Babylon the Great is going to turn 250 years. So let's go to Google, type in average age of empires. And this is AI overview. This is the average lifespan of an empire is often cited as around 250 years. Whew, go figure. A figure popularized by historians like John Baggett, blah, blah, Glove, who know a pattern of pioneer and consequence. Okay. But the point being, key figures and concepts. 250 years, a frequently quoted average, suggesting empires rise and fall in predictable stages over roughly 10 generations, 25 years per generation. So the point being that it's not a coincidence why that's an omen. 250, the number itself, is being something well understood as, the time, not necessarily an omen, but a well-known number. And it's just funny that they're celebrating that. It's like they're celebrating their downfall. And as you can see with what's going on with the money, the wars, the different, how do you call it? Inflation rates, etc. But I just saw this. Look at this. I didn't even see this before. This is a cargo container, but it has guns coming out of the cargo containers. Man, what is that going to tell you, man? Hey, they could do a false flag. They could do a false flag or a little nuke or something like that. A micro nuke that goes off at one of these shipping ports that causes mass delays of, I'm just speaking as a man because I didn't see that before. And we know that during the time of the shutdown during the C-19, there was a rumor going around that the reason why they had the ports shut down was because they kept finding pods, living pods, and whole so-called mini bases from different foreign nations, China, that are living in these, cargo containers, and they're decked out with nukes. They got weapons in there, so they're ready for whenever the call goes, to make that false flag. So anyways, that is crazy. But I'm going to get some scriptures, because people aren't having that same spirit of 2026 as being a year of, them ready to bubble up. It's going to get better. Nah, man. I always go to Zephaniah 1 and 14 to start. And I'll start up a little bit. This is Zephaniah 1. I'll start at 11. It says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." And we know that, Maktesh was in the ancient times a very popular marketplace. So in the sense of Babylon the Great today being the center of major trade, and commerce, and through the Spirit, those cargo containers that I was talking about, there's a reason why, it's on there. Because, hey, man, whether it's going to be that, it can be just one of many tools that Esau could use. It could either be that cargo container, or it could be another truck, semi-truck full of something that drives through a crowd. That's why a lot of these damn celebrations of the new year have actually been canceled out of fear of T attacks. And as you can see the picture, I'm going to go back to that scripture. As you can see the scripture, it doesn't look like anything good. You got robots on here. You got the money. Look at that. The dollar cracking. You have a war. Crosses swords. Look, that's a down market. It's going down in monetary value. Look, it has the penny on there because they stopped printing the penny. Again, more needles. More needles. More nukes. Nukes in space. You see? The astronaut in the satellite. So, hey, man, this is nothing. Look, robot terminators right here. So how is this looking like a good outcome for what 2026 is going to look like? This is a Zephaniah 1 and 12. "And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, because it is you as an Israelite man that is responsible for spreading this gospel to the best of your ability. Doing something. What are you doing? Are you getting comfortable here in captivity? Are you getting Gentileized? I don't even think that's a word. But are you going more back to a Gentile state of mind and getting more comfortable with the environment that you're put in more than, standing for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? And punish the men that are settled on their lees." You just relaxing. You think the master ain't never going to come back. You're just a steward of somebody's house and you don't care what happens to it. You're just lackadaisy, man. Yeah, all is good. As long as I got my bread, I'm getting my bag. I got a couple women or whatever it is, man. You think you're living a good life, huh? Here in Babylon the Great. You are delusional. That say in their heart, "The Lord Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil." Because life has just been, they've been talking about forever. The end of the world has been saying is going to come since my parents were alive, since their grandparents were alive. Since the ancient times, they've been saying the end is near. Well, you dummies, you. That type of complacent mentality is what's going to get a lot of you Israelites caught up in that nuclear missile, man, thinking everything's a fucking game, like Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not going to be really about what he says, man. Well, guess what? Of all generations, it's this generation that's going to see the end of the world, Lord willing, man. We ain't getting old. Look, and what you can say that confidently, because look at the state of the world and the mass progression of Esau's AI technology and him wanting to integrate the humans with technology, which is what the MOT to the B is. Whether you take that charagma to buy and sell, and that's why he's pushing these digital IDs, digital currency. Even on the job sites that I'm at, they're going to paperless, because when you have to get what's called a hot works permit, or a confined space permit, and this is on job sites when you're doing certain work in a certain area, or if you're using a tool that produces sparks, you have to go fill out almost like an application to be able to use it, on the job site, what type of tool it is. Do you have a fire extinguisher? Do you have a fire watch, etc., etc.? So they're even going to the point where you have to download an app, register an account, and then be able to fill out a hotworks permit online, which makes no damn sense, because everybody just goes in and fills out a little piece of paper, it's the size of a postcard, drop it in the drop box, and then boom. But now they want to go, it's ridiculous, man. So they're just slowly pushing that digital world on you even more. This is Zephaniah 1 and 13. Continuing, therefore their goods shall become a booty which is something that you get after you win a battle, a prey. This is what you get from beating somebody's ass. This is your booty, but and not in that sense, but like, this is your prize. And their houses, like pirates get the gold chest, and they call it, oh, I got to get me booty, And their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. And that's the downtrodden state of an Israelite. He's out here finishing, major projects, building whole subdivisions of houses, building them top to bottom. Issachar is the landscaper, Issachar the framer, Issachar the painter, Issachar laying the concrete, Issachar, managing the whole job. But the white man owns the company. The fucking Edomite is running the investors that are giving him the money to run the company. So Jake doesn't control anything. Same with the vineyards. We're the farm workers in the field. The fucking field workers. The looked down upon, oh, you're not important, let's deport them. And now look at your fucking grocery prices, you stupid ass Edomites. But not drink the wine thereof, and that's, the benefit of it. Because obviously if you have a vineyard, you're going to make grapes, you have wine, etc. You're going to drink it. But we don't get anything. We get some Federal Reserve notes that are taxed before 40% before you even touch the money. Esau gets his cut. Zephaniah 1 and 14, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh, the mighty man, shall cry there bitterly. And we can see the time and the day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteneth greatly. And hasteneth greatly, which means it's coming really quick. Look how quick the year 2026 rolled up on us, man. We already got through Christmas like that. Through the time everybody's waiting on that are so ready to spoil their loved ones, man. Well, that Christmas spirit was not like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Now, was it? So that because everybody and everything is getting played out. The music industry is played out. There's not any good music or artists coming out with any originality like that. The food is just getting shittier and shittier because of fucking GMOs and nobody caring about their job and them just putting together a plate on a fucking restaurant or putting this to that because everybody's just tired, man. Everybody at their job is just going through the motions. There's no mirth in this land anymore, and hasn't been for a while, ever since this truth came on the scene. And that's all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Kakwadash and our elders before us. So that's why when you come into this thing, you have to realize how important it is in the message that you're sending out. It's not a feel-good message. It's not a message that you're trying to get as many congregation members together. It's not that you're making sure that these women's feelings don't get offended. It's not making sure that, because you a sodomite, or you like to eat abominable foods, or you abuse your body in a way that's not lawful, because you can't have a time to get away from the holidays because your family's just pressing you so hard. You got to go celebrate it. You got to come. You're that uncle that gets a bag, so you got to come with a fucking handful of gifts. You just got to do it, because if you don't do it one year, they're going to be looking at you like, you're losing. But this is the world that we're coming into. Man, that's why we're not concerned of you people in the world. We're not concerned with the non-elect. Stay in the fucking world. See how far that gets you. Because at the end of the day, everything that you have and everything that you worked for is going to be fucking taken from you. And you're going to be forced to take that charagma. Because your sellout bitch ass doesn't want to suffer and have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yashai than to give up your carnal things here on earth. In the sense that when Esau comes with that MOT to the B, you're going to want to continue your life here in Babylon the Great. Having an injectable, implantable micro C-hip underneath your skin, and live like you think you got freedom, like you didn't just put a chain around your neck, thinking that your life is worth living at that point. Man, the best thing you can do is eat a nuke and come back in the reincarnated in the kingdom of heaven saying goo goo gaga, being what the elders call a ball sack Israelite, coming back reincarnated through one of the nut sacks of the elect, man. And that's just what it is. Hey, Salakia. truth hurts, man. And the truth is stranger than fiction to you people. So again, that 250 years, this war, the false flags that are happening, these nations becoming an alliance against Babylon the Great, man, there's no reason why you should be celebrating. You should be weeping, mourning, and getting prepared, for that destruction. Because what is the main thing that people love to live in Babylon the Great for? That money. So I'm going to finish out the Zephaniah 1. And then we're going to close out this lesson. This is Zephaniah 1 and 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. All describing a very negative situation, a time only described as Jacob's trouble. Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And these the alarms, missiles incoming, drones incoming. Oh, there's a natural disaster, there's a tsunami wave incoming. All that's going to be happening simultaneously. Because, don't think that tsunamis and earthquakes aren't going to happen when these nukes start penetrating the Earth's crust and breaking up the tectonic plates. It's going to get freaking like that movie 2012 in this bitch. Zephaniah 1 and 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men. They're not going to know what to do. Things are going to get so bad. Because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust. The confusion. It's going to be like so much bloodshed. They're going to be so confused. And their flesh as the dung, because there's going to be so many bodies. They're just going to be letting them lay out in the sun to get that white dog shit type look, man, for the birds to eat. For the rats to come and nibble your eyeballs out, and the flies to come and fucking fill your carcass with maggots, man. Zephaniah 1 and 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. So you're not going to be able to buy your way out. Even if you got a underground bunker in Babylon the Great, it's not going to save you because this land is going to be melted. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. Nuclear missiles, the chariots, shall even... For he shall even make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And that's Babylon being destroyed, in 1 hour. Babylon the Great ultimately being the target number one. Babylon the Great, because of the amount of abominations that it was putting forth throughout the whole world. This place is the ultimate target of overkill for Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So, Lord willing, I think that's it. Looking through the notes. Yeah, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Because as you can see, only the elect are going to inherit the world to come. Because this world is completely finished. Finito, done, throughski. So Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I would like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Chadash, and double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.